Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much. Guys, my email is like getting a lot of the clemency letters. Please, if you haven't seen the latest video that I put out, we have until the 15th of February to send these letters out. We have until the 15th. The postmark has to be on the 15th. I spoke to Nick's public defender today, and I asked about that. And it's very specific in the letters what needs to be said. But also you have to understand, again, that, so these letters are going to go to the governor, and you're going to address your letter to Dear Governor, and you're going to explain that you're writing in regards to application of clemency for Nick Godejohn and why you think he deserves clemency. And then you're going to explain why without going off on Gypsy Rose. Don't go off on her. Make the letter about why you feel like Nick had an unfair trial or an unfair even interrogation. You can say that you've seen things that have come out later that don't make sense. And you can even say, you could refer to Gypsy as his co-defendant. His co-defendant who masterminded the whole plan got off in 8.5 years, and Nick, who was manipulated by her, and there's proof of that now that has come out now, is doing life, like that. So, but please check out the video. It's 4 minutes and it just explains, okay? And also, because they're asking for your name and a way to contact, I want you to understand that Nick is going to get a copy of the letter because he's going to get the whole packet. The public defender told me that he's going to hand that to Nick because Nick, he's putting it together for Nick. Nick's the one that's got to have it handed to the governor. But his public defender was nice enough to put together the packet for him. And that's what the public defender told me. So I just want you guys to know that, okay? But Nick will have your name and your phone number or your email or your physical address. Now, what I will do in my case is I will write my name and I will go ahead and grab like a free email account strictly for that. And this is so the governor can verify that I'm a real person. And in case he has any questions or she has any questions about the letter that I'm writing, should there be any clarification that they need or any extra information that they need. So that's what that's for. Also, guys, it's important that you understand that later there could be a FOIA request by anybody, and they can get your real information. The thing is, a lot of us don't use our real names out here, right? A lot of us don't use our real names online and such. So if you're Jane Smith, it's really going to be hard to connect Jane Smith with, mishap 2552. You know what I'm saying? At AOL.com. Okay. So, or whatever handle you use online. So to me, it's more important to me that he gets, a shot at clemency. So all that being said, I started watching a video and I got as far as, I don't understand what all the rhetoric is. Guess who that was? Fancy. April. Fancy Melly. AKA, right? So I want to tell you why I don't understand why you don't understand why so many content creators are so upset with you, Fancy. You know why? Because Nick doesn't trust anybody right now because of you. He doesn't know who to trust. His dad doesn't know who to trust. Nobody knows who to trust, and you are a huge part in that. Whether you want to take responsibility or not, there's proof. There's proof. And when they tell you, there's proof, okay? So in Nick's letter to Dawn, where he says, you're working for Fancy and all that, and then I show the contract where she works for you, Fancy. So, there's a reason why we're pissed off. And you're a liar. You tell untruths. And then when you get caught, you insult your community by having them look there when the problem is there. And the problem is always you. You are the problem. You are the common denominator in everything. You helped with the narrative about Gypsy's mom. You did that. You were the loudest one. And you did that to gain favor with somebody else, a dead woman. A dead woman. You made her sound like shit. I know it. I heard you. I heard you. I heard that narrative. I heard that narrative over Nick from your mouth. When I first started listening to what was going on here, I heard you. And then I heard you come up with your other shit. And it was during the breakup of you and Christy. And it wasn't about anything other than they fired you. You didn't do anything for them. Nothing for them. What did you do? Where's your program? So you can sit there and say whatever you want to say. There's a bunch of content creators out here, and we're all doing videos about how bad of a content creator you are, how misleading you are, how dishonest you are. You're swarmy. You're a horrible person. You couldn't even leave Nick alone when he was in prison doing time for something you knew he got manipulated into doing. And then when he's in jail, you're going to manipulate him again. All to gain favor. So I took a break while I did this video, and now I'm editing it. And a lot of things have changed since, 4 hours ago when I went to sleep. It's 4 o'clock in the morning now. So a few of you have said, why didn't you do something when we told you before, Toddy? 6 months ago when we were screaming before, Toddy. I didn't know what I was looking at. I've only been doing YouTube, and really I've only been doing Gypsy Rose, I think, since she got out of prison. And then I'm not sure what I knew about her. So a long time ago, I know that I speculated about things, but I didn't know what I'm convinced I know now. I really just got information that Nick was manipulated and that somebody went in there and manipulated him more. I knew what was accused of Gypsy, but I can't go on here and scream a wrong narrative. I just kept putting videos out that showed something and showed something and showed something. And then when I realized what it did, yeah, I screamed it was unfair. And I've been screaming, let's give Dee Dee a legacy. That doesn't mean that I know how to put it all together. Okay, but I'm definitely a spoke in the wheel here. I'm definitely a spoke in the wheel, and I will definitely help others that I can help, and I will reach out to others if I need help. Is that fair? Is it fair that maybe there's some things? Listen, I know you guys don't know everything I've done for a living, what I do for a living now, and this and that, and how I'm connected in certain ways. It doesn't mean I know everything. Certainly, when I can reach out for help and ask people for help, I'm going to do that. So what took us so long? Well, let me speak for me. What took me so long to get here was this is how long it took me to get here. I have a full-time job. I put a lot of work into putting videos up here. They're not all about Gypsy. They're not all about Nick. I do a lot of stuff. I know nobody is saying, hey, Toddy, you don't have to explain yourself. I do have to explain myself. Because there was a self-proclaimed person, right? She was screaming, she was self-proclaimed. I got here late partially because of her. I can say that. There is so much, Here's the truth about Nick that I know. But honestly, it hasn't been long since I've known this, since I have known it. Okay? And then there are things that I'm not going to defend myself with because I'm not. I've done things behind the scenes you guys don't even know. I can't get behind a cause unless I know the cause I'm getting behind. I think that's fair. Look at in one day how we screwed things up. First of all, sometimes the lawyer's name was wrong. His name is Tyler Coyle, Coyle. Some of the stuff says Cole. It's Coyle, Coyle. The letters shouldn't be made out to a judge or Mr. Coyle. They should be made out, Dear Governor. You see, I rushed here and I got some information wrong. And I got information from somebody that I know gave me that information thinking it was 100% correct. I don't really have a face-to-face with those people that gave me that information, unfortunately. And you know why that is? That's because of Fancy as well. Because nobody trusts us anymore. Nobody. You guys know that I've written to Nick. I've told you that. I told you that I wrote to him just so that you knew that I asked him, hey, do you want to get out? Because I don't want to fight for something that you don't really care about. I think that's fair to ask somebody. And he told me he did. He told me he did. I knew nothing about people going in and bothering him in prison and trying to manipulate him. I didn't know that. I know it now. So yeah, we should have gotten here a long time ago. Maybe I could have gotten here a couple months ago when I first reached out. He wasn't nasty. He wasn't mean, but he was very, very, very standoffish. I understand that now. Guys, we got here when we got here, and we got here a little bit late, but not too late. We're not too late. We still have till the 15th for a postmarked envelope from the post office, stamped with the date of February 15th. Inside of the links here, it'll tell you where to send the letter. If you are out of country, you can email it to me. I'll print it out. I guess I'm sending a lot out in bulk. I have to say, and this is what's really important that I want you guys to really understand. There's so many content creators that have reached out behind the scenes here, and there's leaders and there's people following on the train and there's people breaking off and making new trains, but we're all working together. Nobody's trying to outshine anybody else. We all are just focused on the task at hand. Fancy was never focused on that. She is a selfish person. And because of that, we might never be able to have contact with Nick. He might never trust us. The people that are his go-between may never trust us because of what's happened. Remember, all he did was get on a dating site. And then he went to prison and he couldn't be left alone there. So Fancy, thank you again for that. I've shown the receipts for that. So listen, guys, nobody's been mean or nasty asking, why didn't you do this? But I'm asking you, ask Fancy, why didn't she do this, the self-proclaimed wannabe? And then ask her why she was an obstacle for us to get here and why she's made it virtually impossible to be able to have this man trust us or his family trust us who really want to do the right thing. And when you guys, the moms that are sitting there saying, I worry about this for my children. I worry about this for my son. I worry about this. Thank Fancy for that. Thank Fancy for that. We got here late. I got here late because of her, but I'm here. And let's go. Let's go. Inside the comments, inside of the bio or, oh, God. Yeah. Inside of the description, you'll find the link to how to write a letter of clemency and where to mail the letter to. And those that really can't do it, yeah, you can go ahead and email it to me at toddy1skip@gmail.com. Don't forget, your information, the information you put down, has got to be your real name. And there should be a contact information. And I recommend just get, if you don't want to be connected to an email address that you are currently using, grab a free one off AOL.com, put that in there. It's just in case, again, the government needs to ask you more about what you've written in your letter and or to make sure that you're a real person. Guys, you cannot mention Gypsy Rose by name. Please do not mention her by name. Just the co-defendant. This shouldn't be so much by feeling. It should be by fact. There's a lot of stuff that has come out, and there shouldn't be any speculation. There's a lot of proof now that's come out. So that's the stuff that we need to put in those letters. Guys, this is really important. This is really, really important. This is clemency. This isn't an appeal. And I don't know how often you get clemency or that you're granted clemency. So this has really got to count. So thank you. And, we're doing the best we can. Well, I know we are, because I've been talking to people all hours of the night, reaching out to them reaching out to me. Content creators united for a common goal. Unfortunately, in that common goal is making right somebody's wrong or wrongs. And just with complete audacity to continue to try to manipulate the situation. And remember the video, and other people have put it up as well, of Fancy April reaching out to Bobby just last week, right? So guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Thank you, as always, for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share if you dare. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always be kind.